It wouldn't predict the Holocaust directly, but, quote, in those days, unquote, is pretty vague, don't you think? We can see the wickedness of Israel on Palestine constantly. That's just Islam looking... that's not just Islam looking cup, Isaiah 51:22. Doesn't seem prophetic, Daniel passage. Psalm 83 is not prophetic. Directly mentions the nations in question, not future ones. Jeremiah 50 has not come to pass. Dark matter is used to account for gravitational force we can't explain. Should this move to PMs due to length? You do see the wickedness of Israel on Palestine, such as, or are you believing what Muslims say about Israel, not realizing that in Islam a Muslim is able to lie in war thanks to Muhammad saying war is deceit? By the way, how is Psalm 83 not prophetic? It sure seems to be now. True about Jeremiah 50. It's not completely fulfilled yet. The fact that Israel has dropped bombs on civilians, hospitals, schools, etc., speaks to me about wicked intent more than any Muslim tale. Why do you assume? Why do you assume that I'm taking someone's word on faith? I'm not the person on the side of the fence, remember? Psalm 83 doesn't make any claims about the future. It is a song about the Israelis pleading to God that specific nations of the time, verse 5 through 8, be dealt with as other places and people had been, 9 through 12. Israel drops bombs on civilians? If missiles and rockets weren't fired willy-nilly from the very territory, Gaza, Israel traded with the Muslims in the hopes of achieving peace, shooting them into Israeli elementary schools, homes, etc., maybe there would be no Muslim dead innocents to parade through Gaza streets, allowing Muslims to play the victim card. As for Psalm 83, it rings prophetic now, even if it wasn't back then. Oh, by the way, ever heard of Taqiyya? That sort of thinking is morally reprehensible. If a nation fires missiles into your country, you are justified to retaliate by destroying their civilian buildings. Isn't this the kind of thinking that leads to perpetual warfare? Also, what is your deal with Israel appearing to always be in the right, while Muslims are always lying, murderous fiends? You need to see that both sides have bad reasons for what they are doing. 83 says nothing about current affairs. I have now. Why? point where it fights against the inevitable for a while, then the odds for Bible prophecy to be true for you will never be great enough for you to accept them as miracles. I know that there are chemical reactions such as this one. Watch this, it puts on a video. This creates a pattern. I would hypothesize the possibility that more complex patterns could arise given the correct conditions and elements. Perhaps this has no bearing on abiogenesis at all, and it's something else completely. I would still think that this is at least closer to finding a solution than simply claiming God did it. Prophecies need falsifiability, not ambiguity, in order to be verifiable. Right. Tell the dates and times that things will happen so people will be sure to follow them out there and fulfill prophecy. Right. You want to play the facetious game? Right. Don't tell an appropriate date or any time-relevant information so that things can never be sure to be disproved. Right. I predict that you will doubt faith when a great antagonistic hinders your journey. This could be fulfilled tomorrow by a bodybuilder making you lose self-confidence, or turning from God due to cancer in 50 years. Many ways. I'm trying to have a sincere conversation. Please drop the games. Listen and respond. Alright. Let's experiment here. Okay, yeah, and respond. Let's experiment here. Would you take the mark of the beast if Revelation said, quote, there will come a time when there will be a mass report of Christians vanishing. A man, half black, half white, will become dictator in a new land. He'll get away with murder due to the fear of being called racist when pointing out his many flaws. With a lot of money from Arabia to control reports of him, he will bring damnation to all who receive a mark in their right hand or forehead. Now, let's say Obama passes another unchallenged executive order, and this time, you can't get money out of your bank unless you have a mark on your right hand or forehead. Would you take that mark, thinking it was just a coincidence, and blame the disappearance of Christians on aliens desperate to do a lot of anal probing? Or is that still too ambiguous for you, and you'd still fulfill prophecy by taking that special mark? By the way, my grandma seemed to be very good and godly woman, yet... Oh, I've got to stop it here. Bye.